Hey guys, how's it going? My name is Neil and welcome back to another episode of BEAMNG Drive. We are here at the BEAMNG Institute for Highway Safety because I wanted to do a part 2 or a sequel to my video called Old Car versus New Car Crash Test. If you haven't seen that video, by the way, highly suggested. I will leave a link in the description below. But anyway, in that video, I pretty much had a new car and an old car and smashed them together, and I kind of saw which one came out on top, and if this game would simulate new car structure crumple zones versus the old ones, and it did, and the new cars came out on top. I mean, they might not look as cool, but they will keep you alive in a crash way better. So on this video, I kind of wanted to do the same thing, only I don't want to crash them into each other. I just want to crash them into the end here, which is basically just a wall. Great for smashing, one of the best, and I love this map so much. It's just so well lit and so professional. Anyway, we're going to start with the oldest of the old, and I believe the oldest car in the game still to this day is the Burnside. Well, you know, let's look around, see if we can find anything in the older, but I do believe that the Burnside Special is the oldest. Now, does it tell us what year it was made? Yeah, 1953 through 54. That is pretty old. That was a while ago, before my parents were even born, I think. Maybe the Satsuma? No, this was 58. Oh no, this is just a little bit newer, so we'll try that one next. But I think the Burnside is gonna be the oldest car here, the grandpa of the BEAMNG world. Where'd it go? I lost it. Oh, there it is. Okay, so we're just gonna use the regular old version. So I believe that's probably the the i6, I guess that's probably the oldest one, but we're going to use the V8 version because we're going to pretend that this is the high-class version, the fast one, the sporty one, the one that probably doesn't care about safety as much. I think this is before seatbelts were even a thing, though, so that's obviously not a good sign. Anyway, we're going to get this thing up to 60 miles an hour, if it can even get to 60 miles an hour, because I'd like to try all of these cars at a constant speed here, so about 60 miles an hour. There we go. Good. And here we go, exactly 60 miles an hour into the wall, and as you can see, ooh, not as bad. Actually, you know what? Not as bad as I thought it would be. Let's check the inside, though. You're definitely, since there's no seatbelt, your face is probably gonna ricochet off the window, or you're gonna fly through the window if the steering wheel doesn't stop you, and if it does, that's probably going to hurt. So really, 60 miles an hour straight into a wall, I'm probably going to say that you are dead or critically injured. Probably, you're not going to have a good time either way, but we're going to call that a death. Just a straight up death. All right, so I'm going to go in order of like years made. So I believe the next one made is probably the Satsuma 210. I know this is a mod, but it's a beautifully crafted mod, and I think it fits right into the BEAMNG world. So we're going to use this one, maybe the 1000 sedan. I guess this would be a good test car. So yeah, I think this is the second oldest car, and it was it? Yeah, it's the second oldest. This is from 58. The Burnside was from 53. So yeah, this is a pretty old car from Asia. So we get a little bit different perspective. Is this thing even going to be able to get to 60? I don't know. I don't even know if this thing will go 60, man. Uh-oh. Okay, 45. We're not even gonna break 50. Oh, wait, yeah, we are. So, like, 50. Okay, this is at 50 miles an hour. Oh. Hey, this little thing held together pretty well. But, does it still run? No, it doesn't. Again, probably the same situation here. You're probably gonna go face first into the windshield or get stuck on the wheel. So, yeah, you're probably dead. Let's actually see if we can get one to go over 60 miles an hour, though, just because... I want them to all be a constant speed here. So do we have like a fast version here? Sedan? I don't know. 1200 sedan? Maybe that one will get up there. Let's just go down here to the fastest one. So not the drag one. That's a little bit too intense for me. Maybe the 1500 Deluxe? I feel like this one could probably get to 60 miles an hour. Alright, Satsuma, I know you're not very fast, but I believe in you. There we go. Okay, so we should be able to get to 60 with this thing. Oh yeah, this is the Speedster version. This is the Rebel version. Anyway, there we go, 60 miles an hour. Why'd I slow down already? I don't know. Okay, so about 60 miles an hour. Boom! Oh! Okay, that was quite a bit worse. Oh, no. Yeah. So, basically, these old cars, since there's no seatbelt, I don't see any way that you could walk away from this. I mean, you're dead. You're gonna go through the windshield or just get caught up in the steering wheel is gonna impale you. So I really don't see any way that you're probably gonna survive this. So that's another death. So chalk that up for 2 deaths here. So what's the next oldest car? You know, it might be the Herbie, but that's not really realistic. It can fix itself. It can do all this crazy stuff. So I'm not gonna use that one in this video. But if you guys want to see that eventually, let me know. So I think the next oldest car is probably gonna be one of the muscle cars. So maybe the Moonhawk. So this is from 1976. And what about the Barstow? That is 1969. So it's actually the Barstow is the next oldest, I believe. So we're gonna use just a regular one. We could, you know what? We'll use the fancy one, the Lux, because I'm giving it the benefit of the doubt. I think this one would probably have the most safety features. Now I believe this might have a seatbelt. I guess when did seatbelts like really catch on to where they were like mandatory? I don't actually know. I'm not that great at automotive history, but we're gonna assume that this one has one, just in case. So we are going way too fast. 60. There we go. Oh! Folded this thing in half. Oh man, the steering wheel. Oh no, it's in the worst place, right at your crotch. That would suck. That would just completely suck. So I want to say that you might survive this one, maybe if you have a seatbelt. But that steering wheel, man, is big wooden steering wheel. It's just it turns into a weapon at those speeds. Let's do it once more. And let's actually make sure that we're going 60 miles an hour this time. So I think I was actually going somewhere around 65 that time. So let's go 60. Come on. There we go. There we go. Push it just a little bit. There we go. 60. And... oh. Again, the steering wheel just goes straight down. Although there's enough holes in it, maybe you'll just kind of slide into it, but it's still going to hurt like heck. If it doesn't kill you, it's going to knock the wind out of you big time. Probably shatter some ribs. So not the ideal situation. And another thing, this game doesn't have airbags yet, but this car obviously doesn't have one anyway. So it's probably not going to help you out much. That's another thing, another factor that goes into newer cars that are designed to help you live. So this car does not have that. So that's probably either critically injured or another death. All right, so the Moonhawk is a very similar type car, just a couple years older or newer. And I don't believe this one has a airbag either, so that's probably not going to be good, but maybe the crumple zone is a little bit better. Maybe it'll help us kind of take the impact of a 60-mile-an-hour crash straight into a wall a little bit better, but I guess we're just going to have to find out here. So come on. 60. This is not a very fast version of this car, but it's like this. It's like the baseline version, so I feel like it's probably the best one to test. Oh, wow. Okay, that was not actually that bad. I think, granted you had a seatbelt on, you might be okay here. Again, the steering wheel. But the car took the hit pretty dang well. The front crumpled just like it should. So I'm going to say probably not dead on this. Although, take this with a grain of salt, guys. I'm not a doctor. I don't specialize in this stuff. If you do, and you want to tell me down below that they would definitely be dead and that I'm wrong, please do. I'd love to learn about this stuff. It's really interesting to me. Like, I don't know, I think it'd be a really fun job to just crash cars all day. I know there's more that goes into it than that, but if to work for the IIHS, I think that'd be kind of cool. Anybody out there work for them? Probably not, but that'd be cool. Show me your stories down below. Alrighty, so how about we try out some 80s cars? I have my eyes on the Bolide. That was an 81 through 88, so I actually had a pretty good life there. Let's just use the 320, just the regular version, the stock version. Actually, you know, what's the stock version? Probably this one, right? Yeah, how much does it say how much this thing went for? $75,000. Is that in 1981 dollars or now dollars? Because in 1981, would that be like pushing 150,000 or something? Anyway, that's a super expensive car, but it's a classic. The classic Bolide. I love this thing. One of the original cars put in BeamNG Drive, believe it or not. Anyway, this should have no problems getting to 60. Oh yeah, there we go. There's a very fast car, an 80s supercar, basically. We're still gonna crash it at 60 here. Okay, push it a little bit. 60. There we go. Oh! See, this car is kind of legendarily robust. Again, the steering wheel goes straight into the crotch. But yeah, you're gonna have a hard time. But I don't think you'd be dead. Well, maybe in this car, since it's smaller, you might meet the pavement with your face a little bit easier. But yeah, I don't know if I could call that a death. Although this is a supercar, who's gonna be driving it at 60? So let's crash test this at about 80 to 100 and see how it fares, because somebody gets a little bit crazy and crashes their new car. So we're gonna go 90 miles an hour here. Straight into the wall. Now I imagine it's gonna crumble. Oh. Yep, you dead, son. You dead. And you think that engine would kind of come loose and just smack you in the back of the head too? Oh, that would be horrific. But yeah, no engine. It's basically just all crumple zone right there. So yeah, you 100% dead, son. All right, so for the next one, I'm going to use a mod, but actually one of the best mods of all time. One of the most lovingly crafted mods of all time, and that's got to be the Oldsmobile Regency and the Caprice. Now, I'm going to do one of these just, you know, they're very similar. So let's just do the V8 base here, just a classic 80s car, I think. Or is it 80s or early 90s? I don't know. Either way, we're going to test this thing out, and I imagine this probably has a seatbelt for sure. Not sure about the airbag, though. I don't think it has one. That steering wheel looks pretty slow. Anyway, can we get it to 60? Just barely. Just barely get to 60. Oh! See, I think that looked way worse than it actually was, because it did crumple quite a bit, and the steering wheel stayed put. So, as long as you have a seatbelt on and you don't crack your head in half on the steering wheel, I think you're probably going to be okay. But that crash looks horrific, and it looks like it might catch on fire soon. So we might want to get out of the car if you can, but I think you might be okay here. All right, so next up we have the Pigeon. I don't think this is going to go. I don't even know if one of these can get to 60, but we're going to try. So we're going to use the 600 version. That probably has the best chance. This is an 80s car built from 1982 to 89, and it cost a whole 1,700 buckaroonies. So very expensive. Anyway, let's see if we can get this thing to 60. Now I imagine that we're probably not going to be doing too well if you crash this thing going 60. I imagine you're done for. So let's see if we can get this to 60. Oh yeah, we're gonna get this thing to 60. This is like the fast version of this car. Why you would buy this, I don't know. But let's get it down to 60. There we go. And we're gonna go head on into the wall here. Oh! Wow. It looks like you could buff out those dents with like a suction cup or something. But yeah, I mean, if you don't have just a massive concussion, you're probably dead. So that's not a car I would want to be in a crash with, but I guess, I don't know. It didn't look that bad, honestly. Maybe you'd be okay. Alrighty, so cruising right on into the 90s here, we have the iconic D series. This is the car you think of when you think of BeamNG Drive, obviously. So, let's see how, I think it's probably going to be okay. It probably has a, actually doesn't look like it would have an airbag. Actually, no, it probably does. Anyway. Oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god. Oh! So, I think this probably has a airbag. So, I think you're probably going to be okay. I mean, we've come a long way since the 90s, but we still had quite a few safety features. So, I think we're probably going to be okay there. The engine is just wrecked, though. But I think the truck held up pretty well. I think I was actually going a little under 60 that time because I hesitated. So let's actually do that again. Get it up to 60 and keep it there, man. Because I want this to be scientific. All right, here we go. Speed it up just a tad and smash. Okay, you'll notice the steering wheel like went straight up, which is maybe good unless your head's going that way. But if there's an airbag, I really do think that this is probably pretty survivable. I think you're probably going to be okay. Just yeah, just don't crash going faster than 60. I can't guarantee your safety in this thing because it is old. It's from the 90s, late 80s, early 90s. So, yeah. You know what I'd like to see as the new car added? Like a new D series, like a 2018 D series, and they could model it after like an F-150 or something. I think that'd be so cool. That's something I'd want to see. I don't know, maybe they are working on that. I don't know, but it definitely is something I'd want to see. Or like a new a new Bolide. That'd be kind of cool, like a modern supercar. I don't know, what cars would you like to see in this game? Let me know down below. And while you're down there, by the way, why don't you hit that like button? It helps me out. And next we have the Grand Marshal, basically a police car. But this is a 90s vehicle, so this is probably on the same level as the D series. I think we're probably going to be okay here. Just not feeling too well afterwards. Here we go. Ooh, that crumple zone. Steering wheel straight into your stomach, but again, yeah, this definitely has a airbags galore, I imagine. So I think you're probably going to be okay in this thing. Most of the cars from now on, and the ones I test anyway, you're probably going to be okay in, at least if they have any sort of safety standard whatsoever, which I assume they do. Alrighty, so here's the first of the modern cars, the Sunburst. Lovely, lovely vehicle. Love this thing. I remember when they first added this thing, it was basically just a shell, but it was still so fun to crash. Still one of my favorite cars. Not a very fast one, this one is, but... Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're going to be fine. It has all the new safety features. Airbags probably all over the place. And really, the car crumpled exactly like you'd want it to. So really, I mean, the thing with new cars, the wrecks look worse, but they actually are better. But it's just the car crumpling more to help you slow down in a crash. So yeah, it looks terrible, but... Actually, it's really good for whoever was in it, because they're probably going to walk away from this one. Maybe. I mean, they might not be feeling too well. Probably got the air knocked out of them, but not really possible to get in an accident and not get the wind knocked out of you, is it? Like, at least at 60 miles an hour? I don't know. Alrighty, next we have the K series, the latest and greatest, at least I imagine, in sports cars, German sports cars. So I imagine this has all the safety features. Oh god, this thing is quick. Alright, so let's bring it down to 60. 60, there we go, and head-on collision. Ooh, look at that. Look at that, it's a thing of beauty. The inside is basically untouched. So that doesn't show how far we've come. I mean, I know this is just a simulation, but still, it automatically flicks on the hazards and everything. I didn't do that. Yeah, that is crazy good. You are probably going to walk away from that one. You're gonna be pissed because your $100,000 car's wrecked. But yeah, you're alive, so you got that going for you. All right, so the last car on the lineup today, I believe, is the newest car on the roster. I mean, it is a mod, but it's a brand new car. A S-Series, yeah, the ETK S-Series, made from 2016 to the present. So I believe this is probably the latest and greatest as far as you can, the best you can get as far as protection and stuff like that. So I imagine this one's probably going to do pretty freaking well when we crash this thing head-on into the wall at 60 miles an hour. So let's just do it. Let's just do it, ladies and gents. I feel like, damn, this thing is quick. But I imagine this thing's probably going to be pretty darn safe. And boom! Look at that. The inside barely moved. It's flawless in here. We might still be able to drive this car. The engine still starts. I mean, it's caught on something, but good God, it like barely moved. Like nothing back here flinched. It's just the front. That is crazy. So it's kind of cool that the mechanics of all these cars and the physics and stuff are all line up with the years that they were supposedly made, which is really cool. And just goes to show how good this game is at what it does. Anyway, I think I'm going to go ahead and end this video here. If you'd like to see more videos like this where I just kind of crash test and we kind of chill and just crash cars, man, let me know down below. And make sure to subscribe if you're not already. Hit that notification bell so you know whenever I upload. And I'll talk to you guys in the next one. See ya.